All right. Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome to this week's webcast. It's an exciting time right now. We just had an amazing October where, Zinzino passed the 100,000 customers. We're in the middle of October, so how great is that?
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, so exciting.
This is great.
This is actually a weekend. I'm one of the people who I just live to go from event to event. And this weekend there is a mastermind event where all of the leaders from all of the direct selling companies are together and teaching in a generic plan. And, I just love being there. I've been there the last 2 years. And this year I was lucky enough to be able to stream in. And I just thought it would be a good time to use that energy because everybody can build this business in Zeno, and we're not in doubt. There's a lot of companies out there, but we have the best. We have the best products. We have really stuff that we can be passionate about because it's so exciting to have all of our balanced products, the whole health concept, and we can prove it works. We're so excited about it with all the stories out there. And I think maybe before we go on, let's hear a little greeting from the people that are there. Just a second.
Okay.
Cool. It's kind of fun to see them down there. Here they are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I'm just going to put it so that we can see them all.
Hey guys, from Minnesota, from Zeno Team USA, I should say. We are at the Gaylords Hotel in Orlando, Florida. As you can see, we're at Mastermind. And I'll tell you guys, we are on the right path what we're doing with Zeno. This whole weekend, it's just been customer-based, customer-friendly companies, and not about the hype. We don't want any more hype, no more inflated incomes, no more of that. We are a legitimate business, and I'm so excited for what our future holds for us.
Be real, speak from your heart, get those customers. We're a customer-based organization. You just keep going out and getting those customers. That's what we're about, being real.
Yeah, the whole industry is shifting over to what we've been being trained for the last 2 years, and that's exciting. We're on the right track, and everybody's moving forward. It was great to hear from all these different leaders throughout the world on different ways to approach customers and give us good information. It's been a great time, a lot of information.
I have to tell you too, we have got Orion and Hilda, the best of the best leaders we can even imagine. We've got the best of the best here. Listening to Orion and Hilda speak this weekend and the respect that they get. And we've already heard all of this, but now they're putting it into play.
It's almost like Orion's vision came to the whole industry, which is just exciting. So we are with the right company, that is for sure.
Yeah, this has been a really fun event. It's really great seeing the people that you hear on the CDs and watch on the videos and everything. And you come here, they're actually sharing their secrets and their skills of how they built a business. And it's really been amazing. It's really awesome.
Yep, it's been a great experience. Our beautiful resort in Florida, and leaders I've been listening to from different companies for the last 2 years. And like they mentioned with Orion and Hilda, we definitely have the best company.
So we're excited to get back to Minnesota when this is over and start teaching you guys what we've learned and sharing with you guys and getting all the information out and everybody getting on the right track.
Go ahead. We're ready to come back and work with you guys. We're so excited.
Yeah.
We have got so many new ideas, and the ideas that we had before, just kick them in the gear and get them moving. Up.
All right, guys. We can't wait to see you.
All right, be back
Stay
here soon.
warm.
We'll see you later.
Hi. Okay, now I'm hoping that it's shutting off here when I'm shutting it down here. And I just have one short little more that I just thought was so fun.
Hey there, Minnesota guests. We got a surprise for you. We got Big Al.
Hey everybody, join them next year, Labor Day weekend, right?
Labor Day
Yeah, and it's going to be awesome. You missed an exciting event, and it's awesome. All the cool things, all the cool leaders, all the new contacts you make. make sure you get your ticket now. Talk to them. It's gonna be great.
Thanks, Al.
That is awesome. That was really cool.
You know, and
Okay, the Big Al thing.
Yeah, because we've talked a lot about buildings Encino and how huge it's going to be. And, you know, there's two sides of things. They say it's like rowing a boat. You've got the one side of doing the activity and the other side of doing the personal development. And they're mentioning both right here. In Encino, they said that the industry is changing because a lot of before it was about recruiting and putting people in and talking big numbers and making lots of money. Now we're just being real, and the truth is good enough. We can make a lot of money by building a great customer base with great products. And actually, Rami, I think this is a great time to put you in here because you just hit
T750. Yeah, I did. Pretty exciting, very exciting and fun.
And
it was a good day. It was a fun day.
Tell a little
For
bit
sure.
about how you did it.
Well, I have a rock star team that I work with very closely, and I obviously wouldn't have gotten there without every single one of them. We just have been very consistent and have worked really, really hard as a team, and we keep building each other up. Our upline has been amazing to go to for help with meetings and such too. And it literally isn't just a one-person show. It's the entire team who has rocked it to this point to get me to T750. I didn't do it on my own. But I got to the point, it was really fun the day that it had happened because I was, feeling just crabby. Like for a few days in a row, just everything was just stressing me out and making me crabby when it came to Encino. And it was like, what is going on? I love this product. I love what I'm doing. But I was just stressing out about everything was just getting stressful. So I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going to refocus my energies and I'm just going to give up the icky stuff, the good stuff, everything in between. I'm giving it all over to God. I'm going to keep working really hard. I know I got to keep working hard. That's not going to change, but I'm just going to have fun with this because the fun was just dissipating for me personally because I was just too focused on numbers versus the fun. And when I first started this, it was so fun. It was just always exciting. You got one new customer and it was like, ooh, you know, just exciting because you couldn't wait to hear their testimony and how they were going to get benefits. And it was like every little thing was more of a stress. And so once I gave it over that day, actually I did it that morning, and then by that afternoon, boom, I had T750, got 3 new partners all in one day. And it was like, aha, it was all about, I was missing the fun. And that just boiled down to the fun, that I was just getting too serious, forgetting about what really was important. And that's still helping people, but I have to have fun doing it. Just like any other job you go to, the minute the fun stops and you don't love going to that job, you just kind of get that burnt out feeling. And so I think that's exactly what had happened to me with this, was I just was too focused on the wrong stuff and needed to regenerate and get focused on the right stuff. And so now everything's, you know, working out really well and falling into place. So I have a great team and I'm very grateful for my team.
It's
and
funny
proud
that
of my team.
I talked to Rami that morning before she hit T750, and we had this conversation, and I could feel with her that she was having fun again, after she had let everything go. And I can kind of say the same thing for me too. It was that way where I was getting a little bit burnt out with things as well. And once I started focusing on the fun again and celebrating that one new customer and then all of a sudden another new customer, and just getting back to the basic of what we're doing and why we're doing it and sharing the health, it completely changed. So yay, Rami, I'm very proud of you.
Yay.
Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, and I really do want to point out that Rami started April 15th this year.
Wow.
And so
Yep.
that is, you know, it is definitely possible for everybody. And it really is about, you know, it's not going to be an easy ride. It's going to be an ups and downs. And that's where you grab into your upline and say, okay, I'm at a hurdle. How do I get through this? What do I do? And in Zinzina, you're going to learn how to have meetings and how to have meetings for your team and, you know, do customer meetings and partner meetings. And then it's also about being that leader, the personal development part, because if you're, you know, the people who are leading are having people who are following them. And so that's why it's important that you're developing yourself. And personal development has been just as important as the other. And that's why some people are going to Mastermind. I know, Marcy, you also chimed in and took a hold of that Mastermind streaming.
Yes.
It's been worth it.
That was when I started to really look at, you know, I really had wanted to go and be there with the group. But at the same time, when they came out with it could be streamed, I did a little procrastinating, thinking, oh my gosh, it's, you know, this much money, blah, blah, blah. But right after I did it, after I went ahead and started streaming, it took like 30 seconds, and I was like, very glad that I had done that. I think that the positiveness that we need to feed ourselves with, the fun, the positive, it all kind of intertwines, I believe, because if we lose that and we lose our why and where we're going with it and the reasons, we all have different reasons, but we kind of all have the same reason about health, right? I mean, the things that we share with people, we need to have that confidence on the inside, and that's where when we listen to the CDs, we read our books, that ties into giving us, feeding ourselves. It's just as important as taking the balance oil or eating right, or, you know, getting out and getting some exercise or fresh air, whether it's cold out or not. And that's part of what I believe. And when we are feeling the least like we want to do that, that's when we need it the most. And I think we've all heard that on CDs before. And I find that I'm right there. I saw it lots of, oh no, I don't want to read. Nope, not today. No, I don't want to read. Well, of course, once you make the decision to read, again, it takes a matter of a minute or two, and you're going, oh, I'm so glad I did this. This is exactly what I needed. And we're bombarded, I believe, so much by negative. I don't know if you guys are in your lives, but, you know, we don't try, you know, but we have family. You just don't always not have family. Sometimes some of the family can be a little negative. That's what I find. So we need to balance that out with the positive and the reading and the surrounding ourselves with people like this. And if we can get to a mastermind, or we get to our VPs and get to all this learning, build ourselves up, we're going to be so much better for our families and for our teams. And I think that is really cool. I think that one of the best books that I've been recommended lately, and it was Carla, was Great Leaders Grow. It was an easy read, and I've read it twice. And now I've borrowed it to somebody that I felt that, and they too came back with, oh my gosh, best book ever. So there's a lot of good ones out there, as you all know. That was one that really hit me and really spoke to me.
Yeah, and I know that, Mary, you have definitely been one that has always promoted, you know, read. That's going to make a big difference. And the personal development, it's been one of your focus.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm going to add on to something that Marcy had said. You know, you talk about how being positive and, you know, reading and personal development helps with keeping the negative at bay. You know, even in my day job, I've had a couple of my bosses say to me, you must read a lot, or you must, because you don't seem to get shaken up when issues come your way. You just handle them. And I hadn't even realized that it was happening that way. you know, one of the things, I don't know if the rest of you ever hear this or not, but sometimes in my team, I hear, oh, gosh, you know, we're so busy and it's just so hard to fit one more thing in. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not asking people to read a whole book. Just read a few pages. And what I've learned to do, because we all have so much going on in our life, what I've learned to do is to take a book with me everywhere I go. And, you know, if I'm meeting somebody for coffee, I'm going to, you know, maybe meet a new customer and I get there 5-10 minutes early, I'll take out my book and I'll sit there and I'll read, you know, a couple pages here and there. And that always kind of gives me some ideas and kind of things. And honestly, it kind of puts me in a good mood and makes me kind of go, okay, I'm ready to meet this customer now. So that always helps. And the other thing I want to talk about real quick is people talk about, you know, I've got, you know, several people that are dyslexic and they talk about having to overcome that. You know, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but both Peter and Orion are dyslexic, and look how much they've grown and look how much they read and they process everything, and that's just awesome. So, you know, take a page, if you will, out of their book, and you can move forward on that.
And not only that, they've both written books now.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Well, and I had a coaching with Peter on Thursday this past week, and we were talking about personal development, and I had mentioned that I have a hard, I don't know if I'm dyslexic or not, it's never been diagnosed or anything, but I have a hard time reading and comprehending, and so I was talking about that I listen to the CDs a lot, and he had, what was that?
Which are great.
Which are great, absolutely. Actually, and I do want to say this really quick too. Right before the event, I listened to 90 Days to Win again, kind of to jumpstart me for right after the event to get going, and that was awesome to listen to. I'd listened to it in the beginning when I first started, but to re-listen to it again was awesome. So that's a good one, especially if you're just getting started or if you're wanting to re-get started again. But what Peter had mentioned was, since with the listening, he said that different parts of the brain with listening and reading and things like that. So even though I struggle with reading, I still need to be reading. So he suggested that I take 10 pages a day, that I read those 10 pages, but I record myself while I'm reading them, and then I re-listen to it after the fact. So I mean, it's that simple, and I'm actually really excited to be doing that. So that's something that people can do maybe if they do struggle with the reading. You can still trigger that part of the brain by reading, but recording it and then re-listening to it to make sure that you've comprehended everything. So
that's a great idea. Good tip.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And one of
my hubby did that during med school too. Exactly that, where they'd read it out loud and record it, and then if you're exercising or do anything else, you're listening to it again while even reading it. And obviously it got him through.
Awesome. And you know, I think one of the other things that I thought was quite interesting is, who are we following? And, you know, like Donna said on that clip, very humbled to be part of Orion and Hilda's team. When you hear them speaking on stage, or you hear how highly regarded they are in the elite of direct selling. And those are the people that we're following. Those are the people who our leaders are following. Those of you that heard Peter coming to Minnesota, he flew into Minnesota before Mastermind, and he's been following Orion and Hilda. And I've been working real close with Orion, Hilda, and Peter, and also Michael Simonson, our upline. And really just, you know, changing in so many different ways. You know, we have all different areas of our life. We have the physical part. We should be working on improving ourselves, investing in ourselves, making time for that every day. We've got the mental part where we're putting in our the wisdom that we need. The social part, it's also an area that you can work on personal development, emotionally, spiritually. Where are you getting filled up on all of these issues? One of the things that was kind of fun is in our Express Start, they said one of the philosophies is also don't get into personal development malnourishment.
Wow, nice.
You're not really growing. You need to be growing and doing that personal development. And then I'm going to go back to the rowboat again. So if you're in the business and you want to move forward, you need to row with both oars. So you need to do the basics, like Ramey was talking about. Do an amount of meetings each week. The number's up to you. however many meetings you want to do, and then the personal development. And if you feel like you're not getting somewhere, or you're thinking, why isn't Zinzino going faster? Or you feel like you're going in circles. Because if you're only going inside, your robot's going to be going in a circle. If you're not, you could also be going on the other side, where you're just doing the reading and listening, and then maybe not doing an amount of meetings. And you're also going to go in a circle. So if you want to get going, you start rowing both of those things. And if you want to go faster in the business, the answer's simple. Keep going more.
Yep.
So it is, and I know that, you know, with Ramey, you know, you just started on April 15th, and you do have an amazing team up there, and people are excited. And I know that you said you tried to get at least 3 or 5 meetings in every week, and sometimes more.
Yes.
And
sometimes, yeah, and sometimes I'm doing that in a day. It just really all depends on the busyness of everybody else. So when I say meetings, it isn't just my meetings, it's my downlines and other partners with their meetings and such. And so you can go anywhere from 2 to 10 to 15 in a week. I mean, it just really varies. And we do some group things that are opposite nights of the BPs. And so every opposite Tuesday, we kind of give and designate Tuesdays to Zinzino and making sure that meetings are booked. And so, and we have kind of a group meeting where people can bring in new people that want to hear the product and things like that too, which has been pretty successful in the fact that you can reach a lot of partners that way and still have the intimacy, because it's not a large group, but you might get 4 or 5 prospect customers. You might get 2, but it's 2 more people hearing the information about the importance of balance. And so it's really worked well for everybody to kind of know that there is one date every single week that we give specifically all to Zinzino. And we just really work on keeping on booking meetings. And there's times that I've slacked on my own personal meetings for myself and getting upline to help me with those, because I've been busy with other members and team members. However, then it was kind of the, hold on here, I got to get kickstarted all over again for my own personal growth and my own business, because I was giving it all of my time elsewhere, which is part of my business, but for my own, in order to hit A team and pro teams and T750s and to be able to do those things, I needed to focus on me too. So, you know, I usually try to pick at least one day out of that week for specifically me and my meetings, and then I leave the rest of them open to other team members and partners. So just trying to be available for everybody, but remembering yourself too, that your business is just as important as everybody else's.
And that's one of the most important things. It's called leading with taillights, because how could anybody else you know, follow you if they're going to follow you and you're doing nothing? Then the team is going to do nothing.
Yep.
That's why it's really important. Ramey's been doing it exactly right. And, you know, leading by showing other people, because a lot of people think once they get a couple people in their team, they need to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
They need to show them what to do. It's so much easier. And I think I'd like to bring up for everybody else, don't you think that one of the most important things is also having fun?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's
people first of all, when you're meeting with people pick up on that. If you go into a meeting and open the book and yada 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 and just don't show excitement, people don't want to be a part of that. But if you go in there and you're excited and you're not goofy, but you know, just really excited and showing that, people are attracted to that, and they want to be a part of that. And I remember, Carla, about a year ago this time, you came to Detroit Lakes, and do you remember that when you came, and we had so much fun? And I think almost everybody we met with that day either signed up as a partner or as a customer, and we were like, whoa, what's going on here? But we were having so much fun, and people wanted to be a part of it. So that's very true. It's very much, you know, having fun, and because it is fun, and we need to remember that and be excited and show that. So
yeah,
that's fun.
Just to add to that fun factor too, that at one of the BPs in Detroit Lakes, there was a partner who traveled quite a distance to come and brought a guest And because of the environment and atmosphere within that meeting of the fun and the excitement, and everybody was just so positive and happy, they left. And Carla is always talking about remembering the emotion versus all the words that have been said. So if you're having fun and you fill them full of fun and emotion and happiness, they're going to leave feeling that way. And it was exactly that with this partner. Her and this prospect partner left, and that prospect was like, I can't believe how happy everybody was in that room. They were just so excited. And I've just never been to anything where everybody was so positive, to where she wants to come on as partner. She left that meeting feeling the excitement and the energy and all the positiveness that went with it. And it was like, that's exactly what Carla is always talking about, is they remember the emotion leaving that meeting versus all the information that may get spewed at them, you know, and the words. And that was it.
And that's why everybody in the team, it's so valuable, because coming to the BP is not just for yourself, because of course you want to get there and get all the wisdom and the knowledge and, you know, learn what you can, the one side, but also to share the fun and have fun being there. And it really does give a family atmosphere. And people want to be a part of that. You know, recognition is one of the biggest things out there, and you don't get a lot of recognition on your job or where you're working, and or you don't get a lot of positivity there. So it's so important to celebrate the small wins. Back to what June said, is we started celebrating every meeting and every, you know, you got the new customer in, you know. That's great. And that way you can keep celebrating the whole way through in this business. And we're not saying, you know, it's going to be always fantastic, because you heard when, you know, both Marcy and Ramey were saying, okay, kind of like sometimes. And it does. But that's why it's also important to do things and have a toolbox ready of going to the BP and be picked up again, listening to that CD. Don't miss any of them. I've just had a lot of coachings lately, and a lot of people haven't even listened to the CDs that came in their package.
Oh, wow.
Like, the reason those are in there. Let's try to. And that's why you need them every month, and listen to more and get more. That's why we recommend going to places or listening to. We're so lucky our founders and Peter Sorensen are flying in when we do. We have our next event in Minnesota. This is a kickoff for all of the U.S. So wherever you are, if you're listening to this, no matter if you're in Texas, Arizona, Massachusetts, Alabama, all the new partners are coming in from all over the U.S. now. It's so important to get to that kickoff and listen to the training that you get there. I also want to put in, for those of you who are looking at it, we have Mastermind, which next year will be the Labor Day weekend. That'll be again in Florida. But we also have a Zinzino leader event, where all the leaders of Zinzino that have built big Zinzino businesses are training. And to me, it's the best event ever in the entire world. And that'll be in Oslo the first weekend of July. Mary, you can say it.
Yeah.
You'll be
there. I'm going to be there.
I'm for sure going this year. I wasn't able to go this past year. I'm excited to go this year.
It was an amazing time last year, and you won't regret going. Everybody that can go should go.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. I just really quick that the leadership there, and you just see each of these people, some that we hear on the CDs, some that we hear about, but the bottom line is it gives you that extra heart because you were you saw where Trondheim, you saw, or the different places, and you know, and I'm not that any of it isn't real, but it's real. And the people that work at those places, their passion for what they do was very palatable too. And it was something it's invaluable. It's just so tremendous. In fact, I think my hubby's going to go too.
Oh, yay!
Next year.
I know I've got several on my team are going, so it'll be fun.
And I think, you know, because that's where you're really going to learn. And then let's go back to what we started with. Zinzino is going to be the #1 company. That's the goal. They've been hitting every goal that they've set. That's the vision. As long as we keep working, keep having that consistency like Ramey did. Started 15th of April, and here she is, T750 this last week. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Yes.
Whoa.
And we're going to have more and more people hitting those levels and the titles. And, the progress is up to us. So let's get out there and let's row the boat. And you set the pace, but go as fast as you want. I know we're beelining it. So congratulations to Ramey, and let's get out there and do a fantastic growth period. Let's end November strong, everybody.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Good luck, everyone.